It was a beautiful morning in the deep, lush forest, and the bear's family was getting ready for an exciting day. Papa Bear stretched his big paws, yawning loudly, while Mama Bear was preparing a basket full of treats. Their three cubs, Brownie, the oldest and most curious, Honey, the kind and thoughtful middle cub, and Tiny, the youngest and most adventurous, were buzzing with excitement. "We're going on a big adventure today," Papa Bear announced, his eyes twinkling with excitement. "We're going to explore the parts of the forest we've never seen before." Tiny bounced up and down with joy. "Yay! I can't wait to see what's out there. Maybe we'll find treasure." Brownie, who was always asking questions, tilted his head. "Papa, is it safe to go so far into the forest?" Papa Bear chuckled. "Of course it's safe, but we must stick together and help each other, just like we always do." With that, the bear's family set off on their grand adventure. The sun was shining through the trees, and the birds were singing happily as they walked along the winding paths of the forest. The air smelled of pine and fresh flowers, and everything seemed perfect. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the trees grew taller, and the bushes became thicker. Brownie, always curious, stopped to examine every flower and insect they passed. Honey hummed softly to herself, enjoying the peacefulness of nature, while Tiny ran ahead, eager to discover new sights. After a while, they came across a sparkling river. The water was crystal clear, and colorful fish swam below the surface. Tiny ran right up to the riverbank. "Look at the fish, Papa. They're so pretty." Mama Bear smiled. "This looks like a good spot to have a little rest and snack." They all sat down by the river, enjoying the sound of the bubbling water. Mama Bear opened the basket and handed out honey sandwiches and berries. The family laughed and talked about all the amazing things they'd seen so far. But their rest didn't last long. Tiny, always full of energy, spotted something shiny across the river. "Look, there's something over there." Brownie squinted. "It's shiny, but what is it?" Tiny was already on his feet, eager to find out. "Let's go see." Papa Bear, always the protector, stood up and surveyed the river. "We can cross the river safely if we use the rocks. But remember, we must be careful." One by one, they began hopping across the large stones that jutted out of the river. Tiny went first, his small paws moving quickly from rock to rock. Brownie followed, and then Honey, Mama Bear, and Papa Bear brought up the rear. When they reached the other side, they saw what had caught Tiny's eye. It was an old golden key lying on the ground, half buried in the dirt. "A key!" Tiny exclaimed, picking it up and holding it high. "Do you think it opens something special?" Honey, always thinking deeply, looked around. "Maybe it opens a treasure chest," Brownie nodded. "Or a secret door," Papa Bear smiled. "There's only one way to find out. Let's keep exploring." The bear's family continued their journey, now even more excited to see what the key might unlock. They walked through thick groves of trees and climbed small hills until they stumbled upon something unusual: a large, moss-covered door set into the side of a hill. Tiny's eyes lit up. "This must be it. The key must open this door." Papa Bear stepped forward, inspecting the door. "It does look like it hasn't been opened in a long time. Tiny, would you like to try the key?" With shaking paws, Tiny slid the key into the rusty lock. Everyone held their breath. There was a loud click, and the door creaked open. Inside was a small, hidden room filled with wooden shelves, dusty old books, and curious objects. There was an ancient map spread out on a table, showing different paths through the forest. In the middle of the room sat a large treasure chest. "We found treasure," Tiny cheered, rushing over to the chest. Mama Bear carefully lifted the lid. Inside, instead of gold and jewels, were small, handmade wooden toys, colorful stones, and beautiful paintings of the forest. Brownie looked puzzled. "This isn't treasure, or is it?" Papa Bear smiled warmly. "Treasure doesn't always have to be gold and jewels. These are treasures that someone long ago found and created from the forest. These toys and art are full of love and care." Honey picked up a carved wooden bird. "I think it's beautiful. And maybe this treasure chest was meant to remind us of the simple joys of life, like the beauty of the forest and the fun we have as a family." Tiny beamed. "I like that kind of treasure." As the bear's family admired the items in the chest, they realized that the greatest treasure they had was each other, and the time they spent together exploring and learning. Papa Bear turned to his cubs. "Today, we've learned something important. The best adventures are the ones we share with the people we love, and the greatest treasures are the memories we make along the way. With the hidden room's treasures in their hearts, the Bears family decided it was time to head home. They retraced their steps through the forest, across the river, and back to their cozy den. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with hues of pink and gold, the family gathered around the fire, sharing. Tiny snuggled close to Mama Bear. Today was the best adventure ever, and there will be many more, Mama Bear said, hugging him tight. Because as long as we're together, every day is an adventure. That night, as the Bears family drifted off to sleep, they dreamed of new journeys and exciting discoveries. But no matter where their adventures took them, they knew that their greatest treasure would always be each other.